It's a country that has gone from a population that wasn't armed to a population that is very heavily armed. There has been new use of landmines, there has been use of cluster munitions in urban areas. The majority of the fighting occurred in the urban areas and on the main arterial highway along the coast. So there's been a massive effect on the population, especially when we start talking about the humanitarian impact of the towns where several 100,000 people have been moved out of towns and waiting for the opportunity to get back into their homes.
The types of munitions that are here actually vary considerably, from small arms to artillery shells, all the way through to guided missiles and, actually, believe it or not, torpedoes. A lot of rockets were fired in this conflict, and they'll be found littered around the area, but it just lies there in the street or at the side of the road. It still poses a massive threat because the slightest movement of such an item could cause it to function, and actually many people have been hurt and killed by moving such items.
The accidents happen mainly with the children, because children, they don't know what it is, so they tamper with it and they play, they throw stones at it. But also they're happening within the farmlands, where people want to start plowing their lands and they're finding items, so they are removing the items by themselves, and therefore accidents are happening.
In terms of what us and our partners have done, there was a very rapid survey done to identify the hardest hit neighborhoods. We then just say to an organization, that's your area, and teams are going in and they are literally just moving through, finding what they can, collecting it, picking it up, moving it outside to areas that are safe for later destruction. There is a lot of stuff in there that is dangerous to move, and that is being marked and destroyed. Ammunition management, what you see behind me here, controlling this is counter-proliferation of arms. There was huge stores of munitions prior to the conflict. This is compounded by the fact that a large portion of the ammunition storage areas were destroyed during the NATO bombing, and we now have a massive cleanup task in terms of trying to clear up where these bunkers have been destroyed.
The problem comes where the munitions themselves can be taken away freely and used by subversive elements or smuggled out to other countries that could use them.
If we can help the Libyans to control this, that means there's no arms going anywhere else. You know, without what happens on the ground, what you see here will rock up on a street in Europe.
And of course, along with the need to secure all of that weaponry and ammunition, goes a tremendous educational task to try to mitigate the risk to people, especially children. The Libyans were very eager to get their kids back into school to bring things back to normal at the end of the conflict.
We have teams that are doing risk education, not just with remnants of war, but also regarding small arms and light weapons, because weapons misuse is a big problem in Libya at the moment, and many accidents are happening. So we are aiming to target all the schools with risk education sessions.
Can you tell us where you've seen it?
So far they've been responding really positively, and in fact the reporting of items have increased because of that, because people are more aware, whether it's children that then go back home with the leaflet that we have and then they report to their parents, or when we target it in the mosques, then it's the parents themselves that report back to us.
There needs to be quite serious involvement by the international community in assisting the Libyans to get this work done. None of the rehabilitation and reconstruction can happen until the guys on the ground, the NGOs and the people doing the physical work at the front, have actually cleared it to facilitate this return.
Lives are being lost here in Libya as a result of people, and of course it's especially children becoming victims of explosions. So right now it's still important that the international community contributes to the funding of UNMAS's work here in Libya, as we work towards the day where Libya will take financial and operational responsibility for its own future needs.
Due to the lack of funding, lack of teams, lack of assets, we physically haven't been able to clear fast enough for the return of the people. So the people are returning whether we like them to or not. There is a misapprehension that Libya is a wealthy country. Libya doesn't have cash at the moment. Libya does not have the ability to pay for these activities now, and there needs to be quite serious involvement by the international community in assisting the Libyans to get this work done. A couple of $1 million now in terms of prevention is better than $100 million in terms of the cure of these problems.